Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Invisible Condition. It's not all in your head. I'm your host, Jeff Pearson, and today I have a co-host, a beautiful, gorgeous co-host. This is my wife, Catherine. Some of you might recognize her from last Christmas special and previous episodes. She was on with you were on with Elizabeth, our oldest daughter, in season 2, I think. And then there might have been a couple others. Invisible Condition University.
Yep. We've done a couple episodes.
Yeah, we've done a few episodes together. So for those of you that have been watching for a long time, thank you. We love you. Keep watching. There's more to come. And also, you'll probably recognize her. So here she's back. Yay! All right.
Hello.
We don't get to record very often, so this is fun. So welcome to Invisible Condition. Now, as you know, we want everybody with an invisible condition, no matter what that condition is, to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that you do have a voice, you have a community, and you are never, ever alone. And if you wonder about that, if here on Invisible Condition, we know, I know that times can be tough with an invisible condition. This amazing woman has seen me through many, many, many surgeries, 4 brain surgeries and 2 others in the last 12 years. And so we get it. And so we also want to make sure that you know that there is always hope. Always hope. We live in the land of hope around here. And if you are having trouble with that, especially this time of year, if you are not sure about that, or you've lost your hope, or you're not sure who your hope is in, let us know. I'd love to help you. Love to talk to you and help you. Just send me an email at this address, and just all you gotta do is put hope in the subject line, and and let me know how to get a hold of you, or I'll send you a Zoom link or something. I want to talk to you. So I also want to talk to you about our nonprofit, which is Hydro with Hope. And so our nonprofit Hydro with Hope was established in 2022. And we are here to help people living and thriving despite some sort of invisible condition like hydrocephalus. Hydrocephalus is the invisible condition I was born with, and that's what Hydro with Hope is about. And so we have a journal that is amazing that you and I wrote together, that my parents did the foreword for. Actually, it's really cool. And so it's a step-by-step journal that walks you through that whole experience of, holy crap, we have to have this surgery again, and who's the doctor, and medical records and all that stuff. Also, Catherine and I love to travel around and speak and spread hope. And so that is also part of Hydro with Hope. We love to talk to families that are dealing with this kind of stuff. Let's chat, So if you want to talk to us about any of that, here's the email to use, jeff@hydrowithhope.com. If you are interested in talking to us about advertising on the show, which, as you've been watching, if you've been watching for a while, there's commercials. And if you think that this would be an amazing platform to do that, I'd love to talk to you about that as well. Shoot me an email at invisiblecondition@e360tv.com. So, all right, that is enough of that. Let's get down to business here. We are on December 26th now. Christmas is past. Bye-bye, Christmas. All the wrapping papers all over the floor still, maybe. I don't know how you do your cleanup, but
Merry late Christmas.
Merry
yesterday.
Christmas. Merry, what is it? Boxing Day in Canada or whatever. Anyway, I don't know. Anyway, New Year's is coming, all the things. Here comes 2026. So last year we did a Christmas special about Christmas and the approaching Christmas with an invisible condition and what that means and how crazy that can be. And it can be crazy with an invisible condition. So this year, since we're after Christmas, that's what we're going to talk about. So let's start with a concept that a lot of people that some of you may or may not know. We're talking about spoonies. SPOONIES. Spoonies.
What's a spoonie, Jeff?
I wish I had a spoon with me right now. I wish we would have thought about that. I would have had some spoons. But spoonie is a term that, and if you've been like, again, if you've been watching for a while, you've probably heard other guests talk about the term spoonie. And so what that means, it's a term that's very familiar in the invisible condition world, chronic, conditioned world, where somebody without an abnormal thing going on, without a condition, might have, for instance, you wake up in the morning and you might have 50 spoons, right? And go with the analogy here, go with me on this. And so you get up in the morning, you brush your teeth, you take a shower, you get dressed, you make your coffee, you get breakfast, and you get ready to start your day. For a person that doesn't have an invisible condition, that might only take 2 out of your 50, right? That doesn't really wear you out. It's just your morning routine. Doesn't really affect you. So let's take that a different route. Somebody with fibromyalgia or chronic fatigue syndrome or hydrocephalus and just had brain surgery last week, or whatever, schizophrenia and needs to take their medication. I don't know, this, whatever invisible condition you can think of. Let's put yourselves in their shoes now. They might only wake up every day with 10 spoons because their condition renders them almost always tired and run down and just don't have the strength for a day like somebody with 50 spoons does. And so that same routine of getting up, taking a shower, getting breakfast, getting coffee, getting dressed, all the things, not necessarily in that order, I guess. Be weird. That might take 6 of their 10 spoons for the day. And then they've got to sit down and rest for a couple hours before they can even continue their day. That's what I mean by spoonie. And so I was a spoonie for a while, for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it's an analogy that I think, or a metaphor that's easy for us to understand, to relate to. I will admit I don't have a chronic condition, so I probably do have those 50 spoons, and it only takes me one, or probably only one, really, to get through my morning routine. Now, if I'm on a in a social situation, that might take more of my spoons, but
everybody's got
that's
to
just,
yeah.
But yeah, there is definitely something to be said for, how much of your energy is spent doing, whatever activities within daily life. And commonly with an invisible condition, you tend to have, people can have fewer spoons. And so it feels like it takes more of those precious resources to get through the common tasks of the day, not to mention the holidays.
Not to mention the holidays. Christmas part, and that's if you participate in the first place at all. Somebody we had somebody on the show with chronic fatigue syndrome. We've had people on the show with fibromyalgia and endometriosis and all kinds of conditions that are very unpredictable. And so, they might say they don't even like to plan for stuff like that because they don't know if they're going to be able to go. So they might say, their friends say, hey, we'll see you at the Christmas party. Hey, we'll see you out to dinner on Friday with the friends. They don't even want to commit. Some of them don't even want to. I've heard them tell me this. They don't even want to commit to it because they don't want to get to that day, find out they've run out of spoons, and 5 or 6 o'clock rolls around when they're supposed to start getting ready to go to dinner, and they have zero energy left, and they just don't have the heart to call and cancel. So they don't even plan to do it in the first place. This is the life of a spoonie sometimes. And depending on the condition, it can be more serious or not. So that's what we're talking about.
So how was it, Jeff, like when you had, a bunch of those side effects still going on after brain surgery, with the brain fog and the, easily overstimulated? How did you handle the prospect of, hey, come to our Christmas party? What was your mental response to that?
Not great. So the most recent brain surgery was October of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And that left me with a side effect that was very unique. I'd never had this before, but there was large motor tics, which kind of, did that. But the main thing that made it difficult to be in social situations with more people was there's a filter in the brain that I've heard I've had it likened to autistic individuals, that like that's a thing with that crowd as well, is that filter that normally is there to block out background noise so you can have that conversation with the person in front of you in a crowded situation is not there. Either it's less or it's just not there at all. And that was my experience after that surgery. And so for about 2 years after that surgery, I basically hibernated, and I didn't go anywhere. I didn't leave the house much. I didn't go to church much. I didn't go. These are all normal things that didn't even cause me a second thought before. But now,
and so as a person that is usually very social,
yeah, I
that
love
was, but not being able to look forward to the prospect of socializing.
it broke my heart.
Yeah.
It killed me. I hated it. I cried. I was not happy because I live by the 10-10 rule. I don't know anybody else. If I'm in a grocery store, in the mall, in church, wherever, and I come within 10 feet of somebody and I'm there for more than 10 seconds, I'm gonna learn your name. We're gonna have a conversation. I'm probably gonna learn your whole history because I'm just that guy. It's me. I love networking. I love going to places and talking to people. It energizes me to do that. You're the opposite of that.
I'm like maybe the 50-50 rule.
50-50.
If we're within 50 feet for 50 minutes,
Maybe you'll go over.
I'll maybe walk away.
Okay. I didn't see that coming.
With love.
It's true. You know what? That's accurate. That is astute. That is accurate. I've seen it. So, yes.
Sorry.
So this is, no, don't apologize for it.
If introverts were honest.
Hey, you're not lying. So here's the thing. That's how it is, right? So, and since then it's improved because we've found some amazing things post-surgery that have kind of brought me back. And that's, if you've been watching for a while, that's kind of been the story of my life for the last 10 or 12 years through these 4 brain surgeries is, yes, sometimes you have to use, the traditional medical model for brain surgery. You can't really chiropractic your way out of brain surgery for hydrocephalus, right? At the same time, once you get done with that surgery, you might have side effects. And most of the time, in my experience, those medical professionals have no clue what to do with you with those side effects. And so we had to go looking elsewhere. And so that is what we found. And so that is, but sometimes, and I'm sorry, I got off track there. Squirrel ran by. And so those side effects were there until we found something to kind of put them at bay, for a while. And so I've gone back for that treatment a couple times over the last 4 years since the surgery, but so it helps. At the same time, it does come back once in a while and it kind of creeps back in. So it's still a day-to-day thing. I mean, honestly, I still don't go in the sanctuary for church during the first part where they traditionally play, music and singing and all that kind of stuff. It's just so loud and it just wears me out and I can't be in there for it. And I don't like that, but it is what it is. I've adapted. You adapt. That's where the king of adaptation, us with us invisible condition crowd. And you are the queen of, taking care of everything while we're, accommodating for all that. So it goes both ways. Oh.
But I think there is one modality that we have encountered and gotten to know more about, which is talking about recalibrating that nervous system to be able to handle more. And
and we've had some really good success with that.
Right.
And if you've been watching for a while, I've had an amazing co-host for the last year and a half, twice a month, every first and third Tuesday of the month. Michelle LeBaron has been on the show with me from Chronic Illness Solution. And I swear that company is is amazing. They're doing such amazing work. And if you've been watching for a while, you've probably seen some of those episodes. If you haven't been watching for a while, I would highly encourage you, please go watch some. And more importantly, go back and watch season 2, episode 52, 52. That is where Michelle tells her story and why she does what she does and why it's so amazing that she has come around the way she has and why she's able to help so many people. And so with her help, we've been able to she has been able to help me regulate that nervous system a little better, so that even in those times where it might have been crippling, it's easier,
Well, because now, I mean, you're right. It's still a challenge to, as to use your example, to go into the sanctuary where it's, really loud and noisy and, the lights are doing weird things and
still a thing.
Yeah. But I mean, at least you're able to hang out in the lobby where there is still noise and commotion. Yep. But even that was not possible a couple years ago.
Nope.
So there's, to me, there's forward movement. There's progress.
Been growth.
Yeah.
There's been progress. Thank God. So yeah. And so we're gonna touch on that more. That's not the last you're gonna hear about Michelle and chronic illness solution, because that is kind of where we want to go with the rest of this episode. Is okay, we've talked about spoons, talked about some people have more than others. You wake up with more than me sometimes, and you use less for some things than I do sometimes. And that's great. That's okay. You got to start somewhere. Now the cool thing, now the exciting part, we're going to talk about how do you add more spoons? How do you get more spoons? It's possible. It really is. It is possible. And I can tell you from personal experience it's possible, because I've done it with the help of Michelle at Chronic Illness Solution. I have added more spoons to my life, and it's fantastic. And so we're going to talk about that more after this break. And so what we're going to do first, though, and before we go to break, I would like to talk to you about my friend. His name is Mike, and he is at Roast to Order Coffee. You can attest, I love coffee. I'm a coffee nerd, right? You watch me every morning. I'm doing the thing, doing the grinding, doing the measuring, doing the thing. I'm a nerd. I'm a coffee nerd.
I mean, it's consistent.
It's consistent. Well done. Well said.
Coffee every day. Great.
Coffee every day. And it's not because I have to have it, but because there's so many yummy flavors out there. I want to try them all. So if a bag of coffee, you've been shopping with me. If a bag of coffee, you see me in the coffee aisle, but it doesn't have a roast date within a couple of weeks of the date, and I'm out. I don't want to have it, because it's probably gone. It's starting to get stale. It's starting to get rancid. I don't know. I don't want to brew that and drink it. So that's why we love Mike at Roast to Order Coffee, because he gets it. Okay. They roast the beans fresh. They ship them to your door, and they're always coming up with really cool varieties. Like, I just use the Mr. Coffee thing. We just have the coffee machine and put the grounds in, put the water in, done. I'm a simple guy like that. Some people like other things. And so he listens. People were like, hey, what about the little pods for like the K-cup pods, right? He listened. Now they have those. Hey, what about flavored coffee? He listened. Now they have flavors. He's good like that. So whether you are an espresso guy or girl, or an Ethiopian light roast is your thing, or decaf or flavored coffee, Mike's got you covered. Don't worry about it. It's all good. In fact, I know Christmas was yesterday, but you can always get a New Year's gift for somebody, or a Tuesday gift for somebody, or a day that ends in Y gift for somebody. So Valentine's Day is coming. Yes. So there are e-gift cards, and there are coffee subscriptions. You get them on a regular, but you get the coffee on a regular basis. It's a beautiful thing. So for the coffee lover in your life, think about that. Hello. And scan the QR code. And the first order that you order with that QR code will get you 20% off. So, which is pretty awesome. All right. We will be back after just a couple of minutes. We'll see you soon.
Are you being priced out?
Hey there. You know, every time someone comes into your business or website and uses their card to pay, a percentage of that gets folded back into the system. But it can go to Hydro with Hope instead. If you'd like your business to support us rather than feed back into the system, scan the QR code and we'll show you how to do that while saving your business money.
Hey, how you doing? My name is Greg Russell. I'm the host of TechnologyTuesday.com. You can find us on the Conscious Business TV network every Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the latest resources to help you make more money in your business. Join us on E360 TV. Come on.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. And I don't remember if I did this at the beginning of the show when I was talking about Hydro with Hope. So I'm going to put it up there now because it's still 2025. You still got time. So I'm going to stick this up here. If you would like to donate to Hydro with Hope to help us help those with hydrocephalus, there you go, right there. There's your QR code. So very easy to donate, very easy to do that. I'm going to take that down. She's having way too much fun. So I wanted to put that there just in case I forgot at the beginning of the show. Thank you in advance for anything you're able to contribute to help us help those who are living with hydrocephalus. So, okay. All right. Now, we were talking about spoons, and we were talking about why people have less spoons than others. And now we're going to talk about how to add more spoons. And if you don't know what we're talking about, go back to the first segment and watch it. So there is, in Michelle's world at Chronic Illness Solution, there is a term that she uses a lot. And we're going to break it down for you and familiarize you almost said yourself, you with it. Sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system.
There's a lot of syllables there.
I know. So break it down for me. What's the sympathetic nervous system?
I don't remember.
Okay. Sympathetic nervous system.
I know that one is rest and repair, and the other is most commonly called
oh, good Lord. The sympathetic
Freezer
nervous system is... Wow. I swear she knows this. She does. Sympathetic nervous system is fight or flight.
That one.
That is the commonly known as fight or flight. There's also freeze and fawn in there, where people will just freeze when they're not sure what to do. And fawn is kind of like that people-pleasing thing, which is not good, by the way. That's not good to do. And so that's all part of that sympathetic nervous system, where you're being attacked by the saber-toothed tiger and you don't know what to do. And so you just protect yourself at all costs. And so that is the sympathetic nervous system, fight or flight. The parasympathetic nervous system is the rest and repair, where you get to relax and your body is at rest and it's still, and your nervous system is not all worked up. And that is where healing can begin. That's where healing can happen. And so to recalibrate your nervous system is basically saying you're going to bring yourself out of the sympathetic nervous system and live most of your life in the parasympathetic nervous system.
So out of flight or fight,
Yes.
into rest and repair. And how long can we stay in rest and repair? That's kind of the goal of
Yep.
the Michelle's modality, right? Is how much of your life can you live within rest and repair?
Yes. Because when you are in rest and repair, well, let's back up for a second. So your body is amazing, by the way. The human body is absolutely incredible. God is so brilliant to design something so good. So the human body is brand new. Every single cell in your body is brand new after a certain amount of time, right? There's debate over how long that is. Some people say a year, some people say 2 years, 3 years, 5 years.
Isn't it different
Whatever.
for different organs and different tissues?
Well, there is, but I'm saying your entire body
Oh.
is brand new. Every cell in your body is brand new after a certain amount of time. That's where the debate comes. Is it years? Is it 3 years? Is it 7 years? The point is, your body is brand new after a certain amount of time. Your digestive tract is new every 30 days. Your taste buds are replaced every 28 or 30 days. Your hair, it grows out. You cut it, right? That regenerates. Your skin cells, your bones, every tissue, everything in your body is brand new after a while. So here's my question. Why do people have chronic, lifelong conditions that they believe are hereditary and handed down by generation to generation? If every cell in your body is brand new after a certain amount of time, why would that be? Do you know?
Well, what do
you think?
I mean, one would think that if the cells are regenerating, then they would be regenerating totally healthy cells.
They would be.
Right?
Yes.
Fingers
But
crossed.
if you are re-injuring yourself, re-traumatizing those cells, re-fight or flighting, right? That's a word. Just made it up.
It could be.
It could be. If you're in that fight or flight constantly, you're not giving your body a chance to replace all those cells because you're keeping them unhealthy.
Right.
It's not your fault really necessarily. It's that you don't know. Some people, we just don't know what we don't know. And so it's not anything you're doing consciously. You're not like, you know what, I'm going to be in fight or flight today. It's just a natural state for most people.
That's one thing that I learned from Michelle was how actually simple and basic some of the, trauma or emotional damage that I had in my thinking was actually impacting my health. My physical health was impacted by what seemed like the simplest of thoughts.
Right?
Right. So
seems almost ridiculous. You're like,
yeah.
what in the world? Why did that affect me?
Yeah. Yeah. Even the thought of, oh my gosh, I feel overwhelmed and challenged. I don't know if I can handle this. Well, that thought of, I don't know if I can handle this, I realized through learning that is actually impacting, weirdly enough, like how my physical, like my arms and my hands, how strong they feel and whether they feel pain or not. If I say I can't handle something, that means maybe I can't hold on to it. So it impacts physically what my hands and my arms are doing.
Your brain is a very powerful thing.
Right?
Frighteningly so.
When I learned that, I was like, what?
Yeah.
Like, that seems like the smallest little insignificant kind of thought. And yet it is actually manifesting with a physical symptom, which can translate into a lot of different autoimmune conditions, a lot of different chronic conditions.
Yes. And you can, and areas of your life can be affected practically in that as well. And so I have gone through Michelle's amazing program. It takes about 3 to 5 months. Typically, it took me a little longer, but it typically about that long, which is nothing in the scope of things. And so
compared to many years,
compared to years and years with a chronic,
Yeah, most diagnoses, correct me if I'm wrong, for something like an autoimmune condition or a chronic condition, it's like, sorry, here's what you're going to be dealing with the rest of your life.
Good luck.
What
Yeah.
if you didn't have to deal with it for the rest of your life?
What if it was possible? What if it was possible? Just possible. You don't have to buy into it yet. What if it was possible that chronic fatigue syndrome that you were diagnosed with 5 years ago didn't have to be permanent? You know, what if that fibromyalgia you've been living with for the last 20 years could be, you know, not permanent? It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Right.
So, and once you get from sympathetic to parasympathetic, like I've been through the program, you are working through it right now with Michelle, which is amazing.
I'm in the middle of it. Yep.
Our daughter, Elizabeth, who you've seen on the show as well, with Catherine a few seasons ago, she actually saw the change in me after working with Michelle and said, Dad, what did you do? This is different. This is crazy. What did you do? And so she worked through her program. We're just bringing the whole family through. Everybody's going to go through it, I think. And so since then, and like you said, it's so simple. It's so silly. There's so simple stuff. There was things that we've had trouble with, like emotionally and physically. And so what is one of those, like, for instance, you have an example, like what there's one that you were talking about the other day that you used to have trouble with.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. It was even just a couple months ago that so I recently became an entrepreneur.
Yes. Woo!
And one thing that is really helpful and effective when you're an entrepreneur is to reach out to others to do business with them, right?
Pretty essential.
Right?
Yeah.
No business happens if you don't reach out and make business happen. So anyway, so I was mentally really struggling over this concept of, sending out kind of touch points. Like, we're part of an amazing group that sponsored the show, the studio, NRG Studios, right? And that group, there's a whole lot of business owners in there. And so
it's a networking group.
It's a networking group. And so easy enough to just reach out and say, hey, I would love to have a conversation with you. Well, a couple months ago, my brain was just stuck and I had fear and I had anxiety. You remember that conversation? I was like, I don't know why, but this is just making my skin crawl and making me want to poke my eyes out just to even do that simple step of an email.
Yeah.
So
I did them for a while.
So
I did it for you.
Jeff helped me with that. Yep.
Which is,
and then I started through this program with Michelle and I've done some of the work. Now, did it have anything to do with business? Have anything to do with reaching out and doing, hey, we want to have a conversation, an email or sending a text or an email? No, it had nothing to do with that. However, I just worked the process, right? Trust the process, worked through it.
Mm-hmm.
And, I have absolutely noticed some physical improvements. I don't have, a diagnosed chronic condition, but I have noticed physical symptoms improving. And then the last week or two, I can't even articulate it, but I had this mental shift and I was like, oh, I'm going to send out all these emails. And I got 20 sent one day and 20. And
like 100 sent in a week or something ridiculous.
Sent out 100 last week.
She's a badass.
And so, but
now
it wasn't.
Look at her. Yeah. So.
And it wasn't necessarily like any articulation in the program, but something has shifted in me mentally to add spoons in that business world for me. Yep. My mental capacity, for that social connection has grown. I added spoons in that area of my my thinking in my life. And it was huge. It's been so freeing to be able to do
Pretty
that
cool.
and not even there's no fear, there's no anxiety, it's gone. And I just like, okay, let's go. Let's do it.
That's pretty awesome. You're awesome. It's awesome.
I knew.
So there you go.
Do you have any examples?
I thought of one. I'm not sure if it's a great one, but I did think of one. You tell me if you think if I need to give a different one. But I thought of procrastination and having to control everything, because when we started this show in April 4th of 2023, it was our first episode. And for about a year and a half, between you and I, we did everything. And I did most everything for the show. I was like sending this out and creating this graphic and doing this. And I was such a perfectionist with everything, with all of it. I was like, nope, that needs to move just so. And, and I was doing it in Canva, and they can do like measurements and stuff. So I was like, it's got to be from this to this. And it was so bad. And I was so picky, and it took me so long, and it was so tiring and taxing and frustrating. And then, we were able to find some help, and we hired a VA, and we got tied in with a very quality CRM, which, if you don't know what that is, ask your business owner friends. It's pretty awesome. Customer relationship management. It's an all-in-one stop for every business owner that wants to be organized. It's a great idea. Which you can talk to us about too, because we can help you and point you in the direction of the one we like. But after we got that, and after but more than that, I had to adjust my expectations. And when we turned some of that over to the virtual assistant, there was angst. There was like, I was like, he's not going to do it right. It's not going to be the way I want to do it. And so she had to look at them for a long time. She had to approve, like, okay, yep, that looks good. Send it out to the guests, for promo materials and for different things. And it was hard for a while. Now it's not so hard. Now I'm just now I don't know what to do. If I have to do one, I'm like, wait a minute, what? Come on. I thought he got them done. And so it's, and it's just, that's been a change. And I don't know, does that apply? And so now it's more like, it's not like I have to dot every I and cross every T. Now it's like 76%, ship it, like go. It's good enough. I'm the only one that's going to notice anything. Everybody else is probably going to look at it and go, oh, cool, graphic, right on, moving on. So does that apply?
Well, I mean, do you feel like your capacity to handle, or maybe it's capacity to delegate?
I think that's what it is. Capacity to delegate and not believe that I have to do it all for it to be done right or to be done well or whatever. That is, a lot of business owners struggle with that. I think if tell me I'm crazy if I'm crazy, but any business owners out there, let me know. I mean, drop it in the comments. By the way, we haven't even talked about that. This is where you can do that. Drop it right here. If you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, please drop it in the comments. I want to hear from you. If you're a business owner and you're like, yeah, and let us know where you're watching from. If you have a question, if anything we said, like, you're like, what? No, I've never heard that before.
What do you
comment,
mean?
right? Yeah, send us a comment. Let us know. We'll talk to you later about it, and we can figure it out. But yeah, I mean, it's a thing. It's so freeing now that it's and so yeah, I think that would be mine. So
Awesome.
I think that applies.
So I think the emphasis here is that it's possible to expand your capacity to do things that have previously been emotionally taxing, emotionally draining, emotionally want to poke your eyes out.
Well, to handle harder things, right? Like you get to a certain point and you're like, before it was like, this is what I could handle here. And anything up here was gonna make my head explode. and I was going to have to lay down and take a nap. Now I feel like it's been that's probably the biggest thing is my tolerance. That's not the right word. My capacity to accomplish things, higher level things and harder things is more up here now where it used to be down here. And so that is probably the biggest thing I've gained from adding spoons is being able to do that. As a business owner, it's huge. So
and Michelle has acknowledged that too. She has explained, within her sessions that it's not just about trying to remove yourself from those emotional triggers in order to, to help your nervous system. It's actually strengthening your nervous system, recalibrating it so that it has an expanded capacity to be able to handle more and more.
Yeah.
Well,
it's like we had a guest, Tommy, on the show a couple weeks ago. If you haven't watched his episode, it's awesome. He had some health issues, and they were told him after the surgery that he had that he was a bodybuilder, and he couldn't. They said don't lift anything over 5 pounds for like a certain amount of time. He's like, what? No. And so he followed the rules for a little bit, but then he started working his way up, and his goal was to power lift 500 pounds within a year of that surgery. And he did it because he didn't listen to to people telling him he couldn't. And he also knew that he had to work to expand his ability to lift more weight over that year. And so it wasn't an overnight thing. It wasn't like he got out of surgery and then 3 days later he was, powerlifting 500 pounds. And so that's part of it too, is knowing that you can add those spoons gradually over time. Yeah. It doesn't have to be an overnight instantaneous thing.
Yeah, that's a really good point. It really is. Shifting that nervous system is like, building a muscle in a sense, because you've got to do the reps to make it stronger. Which
is why the program that they have with Michelle and everybody at Chronic Illness Solution, that's why it's a several months process, because it's not an overnight thing. It's not just, for those of you that know the TV show, welcome to, we just aged ourselves. But if you if you're looking for an overnight thing, this isn't it, but it's relatively short in the scheme of things. And oh my gosh, is it worth the ride? It is life-changing. So I'm going to leave that up there for the whole third segment when we come back, and taking it down now though. But we will see you on the other side of this break, and we'll talk a little more. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Jake, co-founder and CEO of One Hope. My friends and I started this company in 2007 out of the back of this truck on a mission to enrich people's lives through wine. Today, we've grown into a state-of-the-art Napa Valley winery that proudly houses a portfolio of award-winning wines which have touched lives through over 40,000 nonprofits at home and around the globe. And it's happening every day. Being rooted in local communities and contributing to initiatives that uplift neighborhoods, celebrate cultures, and promote community. It's what got us here. You see, through every bottle sold, your purchase can make a direct impact on the causes you care about. One Hope's cause of choice has given back over $10 million and counting.
Hey everybody, Craig Tomanini here, founder and CEO of Ask Craig T, and I wanted to do a quick reminder about our podcast every Friday, 9 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. You can find us on YouTube and on all of our social media platforms, so be sure you tune in. Don't miss all the valuable information we're going to give you about how to scale your business using technology.
Hey there. Every time someone comes into your business or website and uses their card to pay, a percentage of that gets folded back into the system. But it can go to Hydro with Hope instead. If you'd like your business to support us rather than feed back into the system, scan the QR code and we'll show you how to do that while saving your business money.
Hi everyone, I'm Andy.
And I'm Minna.
We're the hosts of Chronically Healthy Life.
Join us Fridays at 7 p.m. Central Time on Vitality TV to see how we flip the idea of chronic on its head and create chronic health in our bodies, minds, finances, and relationships, right here on E360 TV.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We're so excited that you're here, and this is so cool to talk about because we wanted to talk about the spoons concept. We've had so many guests. I've talked to so many people over the last couple of years that have talked about it, and so I wanted to. That's part of why we are doing this, especially after Christmas, post Christmas holiday. You are sometimes worn out a little bit. Especially even when you don't have a chronic medical condition going on, like some people, and so many millions of you out there that even still it can be exhausting. And so spoons are a thing. And so we only have so many. And so we've been talking about adding more spoons and how do you do that? And so yeah.
So the question is, what would be one thing, right? If somebody watching is like, what is just one thing? What's one next thing that will get me closer to expanded spoons?
More spoons.
More spoons.
Yeah.
A whole 10, 12, 24-piece set of spoons.
Right? So that is why that's what we've been talking about. And that's why we are, if you are struggling with that and you've been listening, you've been watching today and you're like, but how? How do we do it? Please tell us how. I don't want to be that infomercial that, like, just talks and doesn't give you an option to explore more and actually get the result you're looking for. So I'm going to put this on the screen because this is where you find that result. Is Chronic Illness Solution, and the team there is fan-freaking-tastic. So
yeah, and it really is. When you talk about, I mentioned, what's one thing? One thing could actually be just taking some deep breaths. And just in that moment, if we just allow a moment of quiet and silence to breathe.
Exactly.
And in fact, that is one of the first things that you will learn at Chronic Illness Solution is a technique that they call grounding. And it's paired with taking those deep breaths. The slow, deep breaths that help you to go from to slowed down. And that slowing down is one of the first key steps, not only to be able to then turn a little, introspective, to consider what's going on in your own mind, your own heart, your own body, but then that slowing down also is signaling the body that it's okay to shift over to rest and repair.
Yep.
Right? We can't rest if we're that's the technical term.
Really hard. That was fantastic.
Right.
Yes, that is the technical term.
We can't even think about rest if we're emotionally, physically, mentally, spiritually, if we're sped up.
Yeah.
And so if we take a moment to slow our breathing, slow our thoughts, slow that connection to our, that introspective side of ourselves. Like I said, that will start to signal to the physical body that it's okay to rest and it's okay to start to repair.
Yep.
And it will, as Jeff alluded to, it might take maybe a couple months,
for you to learn,
6
for your body to
months.
learn, right?
But what
Yeah.
is 5 or 6 months in the span of the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Right? If you've been told something that's like, sure, I guess you're going to have to deal with the rest of your life. Well, how long is that going to be?
Right.
Hopefully many years, many decades, Lord willing.
Yeah.
And so if you were to be able to take 5 or 6 months to then not have to deal with that for 10, 20, 50 years, 60, whatever, however long God has you on the earth for.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be worth it?
Right.
Wouldn't it be worth it to learn those techniques? And so those slow, deep breaths are what I would suggest would be
Totally
a good first step.
Good start. Yep. And so if you're watching, and you're on Facebook, you're on YouTube, if you're on E360 TV or Apple TV or Roku TV or wherever you're watching, man, if you're on Facebook and YouTube, it's super easy. Just throw a comment in there and put the word spoons, and we'll know that you want, and then I'll drop you the link for Michelle's calendar, and you can meet with her and just see. And she's very generous with her time on that, and wants to hear your story and figure out what's going on, so she can help you if you're ready for that. So comment spoons in there, or send us an email right here, and same thing, in the subject line, just put spoons, and I'll send you her calendar link if that would be easier for you. Put spoons in all caps or whatever in the subject line, and then I'll see it, and we'll get you squared away. So
yeah, Michelle does a free consultation, so it's
a good one. It's not like 10 minutes when you go to the doctor. It's actually a good chunk of time. It's like an hour. So she'd like actually get to the bottom of it and listen to your story and figure out how she can help. So, yep. It's awesome. And so, let's definitely, think about it. If not everybody's ready for it. So it's not for everybody. It's not for everybody right now, but if it's something that is sounding interesting to you, I would highly recommend reaching out. Take action.
Yeah.
And
give yourself the Christmas gift. Happy New Year's, Merry Christmas.
Yeah.
To you, of just taking that action to schedule 1 hour of your day, 1 hour of your life, 1 free hour.
Yep. And so that's that's what we wanted to bring you today, is adding spoons to your life. It sounds kind of funny, but now you get it. Now you get it. If you've been watching this episode, you'll understand now. So
add capacity, add ability, recalibrate that nervous system to have a greater capacity to serve you, to support you, to do all of the awesome things you want to do.
Exactly. So with that, we are so thankful that you were here. Thank you so much for being here, for watching, for being with us during this whole, for those of you that have been watching for a long time, thank you. For those of you that have just joined us, and this is your first episode, welcome. Thank you for being here. I hope you like the Santa hat on the dog. That won't be here at the next show because it'll be a new year. So Christmas will be.
What I think there's one more in December.
One more. That's right. There is. So anyway, all right, everybody. Thank you so much. Join us for our next episode, which will be on Tuesday, the 30th. So right before New Year's, Tuesday, December 30th. Getting ahead of myself. And have an amazing day, and we'll see you next time.